Good afternoon and evening, everybody. We'll get started here in about 10 minutes or so. Check 2. Greensburg ground, good morning. Speed Racer 783, requesting flight following to Concord region. Well, 4311, Speed Racer 783. And if you're just joining, we got about 6 minutes before we get started. We're going to go cold and dark in the Baron Pro from BlackSquare. And we're going to make a flight down to Concord Regional in central North Carolina in the U.S. So we'll get started here in just a few minutes. And thanks for joining the live stream. We are using Sayintentions today. We'll get rolling here in just a few minutes. So we are not going to be covering all of the features and functions in the aircraft. We'd be here forever. We are going to do is a good overview. So, welcome aboard. We'll get going here in a couple. I have already requested from ground flight following to Concord Regional. So that is out of the way. So we'll get the aircraft started up. And then we'll make our taxi request. We are at Piedmont Triad International, which is KGSO. And we'll see which runway they give us today. We are at the Honda Jet parking at KGSO, so we're reasonably close to runway 23 left, so they'll give us that. We won't spend quite as much time taxiing, but we shall see. I hope everybody's keeping well. We'll be getting started here in just a couple of minutes. And if you're watching the live stream, welcome. If you are watching the recording, welcome. And let's go ahead and get SPAD next loaded. I usually forget to do that, so got that loading up. Access to my comm panels here. Lots of moving parts to deal with. All right, we're about 2 minutes to official start of the stream. I'm also going to endeavor to avoid mistake I've had made in the past too, not switching over to the sim view, so should be in the sim now. And we'll go ahead and get rid of the intro music too, so there we go, there we have it. Do a quick check of our stream health here. That looks good. And again, we do have about 2 minutes before we officially on. But take care of a few things here on the back side, and then we will jump in the plane and get it started up. I've been flying the Bonanza quite a bit, but I did purchase this in a bundle, We can talk about that for a moment anyway, before we get going. All right at 11:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Flying Doghouse. Good to have you along for the live stream and the recorded. We are going to take a VFR flight from KGSO to Concord Regional in my current hometown, and we're going to do so in the Baron from BlackSquare. Before we get started, I thought we would take a jump over
ground. Lindbergh 4451, taxi to the ramp.
We'll use BlackSquare to take
Lindbergh
a look at
4451, taxi to parking via Hotel 2, Delta Kilo Juliet 2 Juliet.
And we are using Sayintentions.
Hotel 2, Delta Kilo Juliet 2 Juliet, Lindbergh 4451.
We're going to hear some chatter as we go through, and that's okay. All right, so a couple things to note here with the BlackSquare. This is actually available in a bundle, which will save you a bundle. Both the Baron and the Bonanza are bundled together. If you purchase one separately, you don't get the discount on the other. So just pay attention when you're in the store. Regular full price on the BlackSquare Baron Pro is $44.99, as you can see on the screen. And the download size is about 2 gig. So that is not unusual. System depth here is really what this is all about. There are lots of hot swappable radio configurations, and there are different variants of the aircraft, normally aspirated and turbocharged variants as well. And there is quite an impressive EFB tablet that's available with the product. So there you go. So I guess if you had the analog Baron, the Baron Pro has been completely rebuilt. So I'll just kind of throw that out there. There's a custom exterior model, custom sound package. It sounds very good. Boris Audio Works has done a great job with how this thing sounds, and I think you'll enjoy the aircraft. So there is that. And it's easy to fly. It is pretty straightforward in terms of getting started up, so I don't think there are any surprises with that. At any rate, I just picked Just Flight here for give you an overview here of the product from the developer's point of view. So there we go. All right, so let's switch back over into the sim. And as I mentioned, we're on the ground at KGSO. The modeling of the aircraft is quite well done. Let me jump out of the plane into walk around mode here. Get that done. Grab the Xbox controller here, have a walk around. Good look at the plane. Get up close and personal here. You can take a look at some of the texturing. And it's very, very well done. Oh, so we had a few bugs die on the nose of the plane. What did the bug say? I'd do it again if I had the guts. At any rate, plane looks terrific. And it flies as good as it looks. All right, let's jump in the plane. In we go. Okay, so couple of things, I guess, before we get started with the startup. And I'm just going to do a functional get started checklist, if you will. to get the aircraft up and running. There's a 165-page user guide, and there are built-in checklists in the aircraft. From time to time, I get beat up for not following those during the video, but I'm going to leave that to you to explore yourself. We're going to get the aircraft up, and we're going to get going on our trip. So, as you can see, on the tablet, we do have a variety of different avionics selections that we can make, which is quite well done. There, you do have control over timing of failures, and there are various settings that you can go through here. There are different views that you can have looking at the state of systems in the cabin. So this is showing us current temperature. There is an electrical schematic that is showing the electrical system, and then the left and the right engine. And those are very, very cool, very, very well done. Payload, you can configure here as well. The exterior elements can be turned on or off using the tablet. So that's that. So to get rid of the tablet, you just click back on this click spot down in the lower right toward the floorboard, if you will. Okay, so there is a control lock that you do have to remove. I had already toggled the yoke visibility off so that we could see what we were doing here as far as our startup is concerned. Okay, so getting this started is relatively straightforward. There is a cold weather, easy for me to say, cold weather element to getting this aircraft started. We're at 51 degrees in Greensboro, so we're good with that. For more information on that, go grab the manual. All right, we'll get the alternators started up here. Fuel is already on. I checked that before we got started. Fuel selectors are in the floorboard. Our magnetos are here. Let's go ahead and get some lights turned on as well. Panel lighting turned on. We'll cut the taxi lights on. We have not talked to the tower yet. We'll go ahead and get the aircraft started. We'll get that chatter out of the way. Other than I did request flight following to Concord, and we're supposed to contact departure on 124.35 on takeoff, and we're supposed to be squawking 4311, which we will be once we get that far. All right, so there we go. If you haven't used Sayintentions, you also can get your ATIS here as well.
T10,000 feet. Temperature 14. Dew point 5. Altimeter 29907. Density altitude 900 feet. Radar coverage temporarily reduced in remote gate areas. Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Piedmont Triad International Airport, information November. 1554 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 32, 23 right, 23 left. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, overcast at 10,000 feet.
All right, so there we go. So ATIS is simple and easy enough to get to. So we have our altimeter setting for 29907, and we have information November. We should be good to talk to the tower once we get that far. Okay, so battery is on, alternators are on, fuel is on, throttle cracked, prop RPM to 100%, mixture is full rich. Let's see. Fuel pump on here for a second or three. And we'll go ahead and get the left engine started. We do have parking brake turned on. All right, so we've got a good engine start here for the left engine. All right, we'll look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the right engine started as well. There we go. Being a little fiddly. Didn't have the starter switch engaged long enough, I guess. Cowl flaps are open, so we're good with that. We'll let the aircraft warm up here for a minute. And then we will get going. And if you're just now joining the live stream, we are getting the aircraft started up from cold and dark. And we're getting ready to have a conversation with Tower. We'll get the avionics turned on here. And D311 was the squawk code we were given by ground a few minutes ago. Got that ready to rock and roll. So we do have the GNS 750 on in the aircraft. And we need to go ahead and let ground know that we are ready to taxi. Greensboro ground. Good morning. Speed Racer 783 is ready to taxi. And we are using Sayintentions.
Speed Racer 7, runway 23 left taxi via Mike.
Right, so we've got a straightforward taxi here. Taxi to runway 23 left via Mike. Speed Racer 783. We should be good to go with that guard as well. And we'll make our way down to the whole short line. Easy peasy stuff here. All right, parking brake coming off. I've got to worry about avoiding the cart. Swing around here. And I worked at this airport for a couple of years, so it's always interesting for me to visit again virtually. And this is also where I did take some of my private pilot lessons too. Spent some time working for People Express back in the 80s. This airport has changed considerably since that time, for sure. All right, tower is 119.1, so we'll dial them up in just a second. And then departure is on 124.35. We'll just make our way. Switch over to one. Greensboro Tower, good morning. Speed Racer 783 is holding short, runway 23 left, ready for departure.
Speed Racer 783, Greensboro Tower, runway 23 left, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Winds calm, clear for takeoff. Speed Racer 783, have a good day. Okay. Bit of an uphill.
Approaching runway 23 left.
When I was working here, this area near this end of the runway was actually a aircraft testing area where they had a hangar and then a blast pad for doing all those fun things. All right, so we do not need flaps.
On runway 23 left remaining. 8 2,100 feet.
We'll go ahead and start our takeoff roll. And rotate. Here coming up. How's the rate? Good morning, Speed Racer 783 with you, 1,500 feet, departing KGSO runway 23 left.
Speed Racer 783, Greensboro departure, radar contact. Cow flaps closed here. This aircraft is a delight to fly. We are now making our way over High Point Lake here. And we'll jump outside and have a look around here on departure from KGSO. And looks like Devil Dog has joined us. Good morning, Brian. Hope everything is well. We're beach crafting today. So we did get the aircraft successfully started up from cold to dark. It's quick and easy. Again, I did a functional startup. There is built-in checklist out the wazoo for this particular plane. And there's a 160-page user guide to consult as well. So you can mix and match on your avionics. Failure settings are at your control as well, as I mentioned. Brian is saying he's just in enjoying the flight. Well, thanks for popping along. I appreciate you being here today. Hopefully you'll be able to join the group flight tomorrow. We are in Germany, taking a flight along the Rhine River. So open invitation to anyone else who watches the live stream. Doing some cool stuff in terms of group flights over on Virtual Flight Online, and I will be hosting tomorrow. So get more of the same southern drawl, I guess, tomorrow at 2000 UTC. And as I mentioned, this is a relatively quick flight to Concord Regional from Greensboro, particularly in the Baron, right? I mean, we're moving along with ease at like 170, so we'll be there before we know it. We'll jump back outside.
Man, we've got wind just moving all around today. It's like from 270 to 282 at 6 to whatever knottage you want to pick. Seems to be right around the 2-digit mark in terms of wind. So I am expecting runway 20 for Concord Regional. But we'll see what we get. That does seem to be the predominant wind direction at that particular airport. Again, as I mentioned in the intro, the sounds for this are very, very well done. So I think you will enjoy that part of the experience as well. Get the airplane trimmed out a little better than what we've got right now. That's much less work, so that's good. Okay, so we are below altitude for needing access to the Bravo airspace, but I'm going to ask anyway so that we don't get a nasty gram. Greensboro departure, speed 783, requesting clearance into the Charlotte Bravo.
Speed Racer 7 cleared into Charlotte Bravo airspace. Maintain VFR. Remain outside until on this frequency. Charlotte altimeter 29901.
Charlotte altimeter 29901. Speed Racer 783. This particular part of the flight, we're following I-85 southbound. Welcome to the to what some would say is the barbecue capital of North Carolina, Lexington. So there is a style of barbecue bequeathed with the name, Lexington style barbecue. It describes the style of the dip that's applied to the chopped pork. So, and I grew up eating Lexington style barbecue, so it is my preference. However, it's hard to mess up pork. I'll eat different styles of barbecue for sure. There you go. Aviation for what you came for. The food advice is free. Flying over, this is 85, and this is Lexington Airport that we are having our flyby. Now, quite a few NASCAR teams, I think, use that particular airfield. There are a few located in this part of of North Carolina as well. We'll continue to make our way down I-85. Hey, if you just joined the live stream, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're having a great one. We're having a fly in the Beechcraft Baron Pro from BlackSquare. So we got to start it up from cold and dark, and we're making our way to my hometown airport, which is Concord Regional, just outside of Charlotte. We're currently at 1,600 feet, so we're below restrictions for Bravo, but we did get cleared into the Bravo.
Speed Racer 7, contact Charlotte approach on 128.325.
All right, let's talk to Charlotte. Charlotte approach, good morning. Speed Racer 783 is with you currently 1,700 feet, 2 nautical miles north of Stanley.
Speed Racer 783, Charlotte approach, good afternoon, Lexington altimeter 29901.
Altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. All right, so altimeter is good. Continuing to follow I-85 here. This is the Yadkin River. Take a look out there outside the aircraft again. And I-85 is one of the busiest interstates in North Carolina. It's a major pathway from Greensboro to Atlanta and points in between. Sensible pace here. Winds right now, 275.
Citation 0 Echo Lima, contact Atlanta Center on 124.425.
Switching to Atlanta Center on 124.425, East Citation 0 Echo Lima.
End up landing on runway 03. We'll see. Concord Tower, good morning. Speed Racer 783 is with you, 1,800 feet. Approximately 4 nautical miles to the north of Kannapolis, requesting clearance to land.
Speed Racer 7 cleared into Charlotte class Bravo airspace. Remain at or above 1800 feet. Advise when ready for approach.
Remain at or above 1,800 feet. We'll advise when ready for approach. Speed Racer 783. Okay, so they did honor our request for
Speed Racer 7, roger.
And it's interesting how volume in Sayintentions kind of bounces around.
Racer 7, altitude's at your discretion.
Altitude at our discretion, Speed Racer 7. Okay, so next point on the ground would be China Grove. Not the one referenced in Doobie Brothers fame, but China Grove nonetheless. Let's work our way over toward the ILS approach feathers here in the reservoir. We are continuing to make our way. Altitude for our approach is good. So one of the visual landmarks for approach into Concord Regional is the reservoir that's just off our 11 o'clock. We are looking forward to having some rain to help bust the drought that we are currently in. Tower, we are ready for approach.
Speed Racer 7, enter left base, runway 20.
Left base, runway 20, we are there. Tower, Speed Racer 783, turning finals.
Speed Racer 7, winds 360 at 5, runway 20, clear to land.
Winds 360 at 5, clear to land, Speed Racer 7. We'll make our way in here. We did drop gear a little early, but that's okay. I am not going to put them back down. I do have the airfield in sight. Yeah, it's interesting. This airfield is our airport is right next to the largest tourist attraction in North Carolina, and it happens to be Concord Mills Mall. It is probably about 2.5 miles as the crow flies from Charlotte Motor Speedway and the dragway. There are lots of things going on in this area of is the northern Charlotte region. And there is a rock quarry here at the end of the runway for 20. So we will go over the top of the rock quarry and then Highway 73. And then immediately there is a significant drop-off and slope to the airfield. which kind of makes it a little visually interesting anyway. Start introducing some flap here. Come off our airspeed. Pull the nose up here a little bit. Bleed some of this off. We should be able to burn the majority of this off and get ourselves into a good runway picture here shortly. And you can see the quarry right off the nose. And we've got a crosswind 283 at 6, shifting a bit.
Approaching runway 20.
So I am giving it a fair bit of rudder to do what we need to do here and get a successful landing. So gear is down, flaps down. All right, we are coming over Highway 73. Terrain modeling at the airport is not quite 100%. There's more of a significant drop from that roadway to the runway bed. And just off our 1 o'clock are my hangars that I have added custom to the airfield, so a place to park. We are here. Welcome to Concord. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this aircraft is a delight to fly. It is a lot of fun. All right, so we need to talk to ground on 121.85. Do that now. Concord ground requesting taxi to General Aviation Park.
Approaching runway 20.
I'll try that again. Concord ground, Speed Racer 783, clear of the runway, requesting taxi to General Aviation Park.
Speed Racer 7, taxi to GA parking via Echo Alpha Alpha 7. Good day.
GA parking via Echo Alpha Alpha 7. Good day, Speed Racer 783. All right, so we will make our way
Approaching runway 20.
jump outside the plane here, get a little bit of a perspective in terms of Concord. Hendrick Motorsports' hangar would be, office facilities would be in this direction. And I have some scenery that I am currently constructing for self. It's into the runway. Well, I haven't paved myself taxiway, so we're just going to make a hole.
If you haven't tried your hand at building or placing scenery in the flight sim, it's a lot of fun. Wholeheartedly suggest you give it a try. So my helipad is still under construction, and a open air hangar here with a couple of closed hangars a little further. All right, here we go. Into the doghouse hangar we shall progress. All right, I hope you enjoyed the live stream today. We have been featuring the BlackSquare Baron Pro. It's a lot of fun to fly. If you haven't picked it up, I wholeheartedly suggest you give that a consideration if you're looking for a highly modeled aircraft. And again, it is $44.95 if you purchase it separately. If you get it in the bundle along with the Bonanza, it is $64.99, and that's the direction I chose to go in. There's lots of different needs and wants in the sim, so depending on what you're after, again, if you're after a highly detailed and modeled aircraft, these two are absolutely exceptional. You will not be disappointed. All right, with that, I'm going to leave it here. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you as a channel subscriber. More content forthcoming. Go ahead and stop our live stream here. Wishing everybody a great day. Hope everybody keeps well. And until next time,